It's another Monday, which means we get to watch a little more Data Life. And with a story that is unfurling and, well, got multiple avenues of attack of what it wants to tell. Whether it be a time long gone, memories of past, and consuming and transforming the human race into something to evolve them further, whatever the actual goal is there. Or just to do well in business and lay around with your demon daughters. Seem to be a little sidetracked from the usual just goings-ons and dates in this show. So, are we going to get back to it? Who knows? But it's not going to end without a fight. And with that said, it should be one hell of an experience to go through. So if you're excited, get a drink and settle in, because we need to start. I had not forgotten that there was a almost all-out space battle happening in the skies. With Ratatoskr and whatnot, using what we saw in that kind of dumb episode a long time ago. The transformation of the city, knowing that they've put things in place. Just in case a moment like this should appear. Ah yes, effective use of 3D there. At least it's not terrible, they're putting some effort into it. I mean, not gonna say no to a bit of support magic. You got the frontline, fighters and the vanguard being Tolka. Miku and her specialized keyboard organ just providing help from the back. While not being immediately flashy, but invaluable. And if my suspicions are at least somewhat founded in reality, considering or revolving around Shido, would the spirit of origin and whatnot consider him now whatever it is that she's actually done a success? All of the people that she's been pulling into the realms of spirits and powers and all of this, was it all worth it? Considering in the opening and ending, she's walking side by side next to essentially him. Don't know if it actually is or not. And having a near endless army of clones, even if it is a bit tiresome to call them out, would it be a little... would it be still a little jarring to see yourself be killed in front of your own eyes? There's not enough room here for the two of us. I will say they did well in creating characters like that where they can have large-scale assaults and whatnot because you've just got an army of clones, because you've got an army of paper models, because you've got the near limitless barracks of mechanized soldiers, being the Bandersnatchers, and the army of the AST, etc. Get ready to go over the top, lads. Charge straight forward. So at least they can do is what? Provide some cover. Well, so acting somewhat independently, but in the same vein of what DM want anyway. Do they need to be told? A vast foray of ice. Yeah, be careful of that. Any particular reason why they just opened fire on the AST? No one warned? I don't know why, but the multiple face shots just there caught me off guard. Why would you do such a thing? It came with no benefit to just let them die, especially when they're somewhat named characters. And Origami at least told him to watch out for a specific few. Are they still... Fill out your CVs, get ready to go job hunting. I'm sure the market for mechanized soldiers is vast. Now, compared to a lot of anime that uses and utilizes 3D work, the fact is getting the shader in to have it 2D colouring and shading at the same time. Yes. They've actually put some effort in there and it's been art directed kind of well. And what's her humbling backstory for the hatred of spirits and the like? Do they still manage to stay? I'd like that. Just freeze them, okay? Just lock, turn off all motion, fall out of the sky, done. Ooh, nice. Oririn. Do they have a countermeasure for her, considering Ella's prowess on the battlefield? Are we going to see some sister-on-sister action? Usually you have to pay for that kind of thing. A joke. Is it going to be a great punchline? Hilarious so far. I like the juxtaposition of Karen and Ellen being sisters and yet so different in how they handle themselves, much like the Berserkers, those two got that same kind of deal going on. I mean, she couldn't have voiced this opinion and pressed on it before there was an all-out assault where it was pivotal that he, somewhat takes part. Is this... Yeah, if you're going to have anyone attacking just the air defenses and whatnot. Probably these ones to go charging in. Oh no! Attack of the paper planes! At least it wasn't anything more dangerous. Don't want to see people flayed. You know, considering they had all of those projectiles floating at them, took 0 countermeasures, didn't fire a shot, didn't try and dodge, nothing. Well, as long as they just thin the numbers here immediately, it's fine. They were just a, distraction? Ah. So while they're having this little chit-chat, well, they've had a little bit of an acquaintance before. Several hundred times over, probably. And unveiling himself out so brazenly. Do you think it'd be so simple? After all, we're probably seeing the timeline in which their plans succeeded. Kurumi hasn't given up yet. She knows exactly when she needs to intervene. Yeah. See all the powers? Does it work like that? Ah. Well, one down. I mean, there are others, pointing Kate actually, the one who just got shown off, that enjoys more of the 2D fantasies, so turning them back into paper. Well, that's a very unsettling way of putting that sentence. What, all at once? But yeah, as I was going to say originally, as I was going, I've forgotten what I was going to say originally now. Oh yeah. Always be fearful of the one who rides into battle with a smile. It's high noon. You know, usually when they say no and go running and screaming and crying for their father, that's a good time to back off unless you want to catch a court appearance. And what happens if he turns his attention to them? Would they fawn in the same respects? Yeah, these ones probably won't falter for an air kiss. Well, at least there was no finger movements there, and well, what's he waiting for? It's really quite stupid. The fact, yeah, just having this invincible, limitless Beelzebub spirit thing, falling immediately just to some nice glances for Kurumi just to slot right in as, oh, my chance. Unemployed. Yeah, fear the unemployed. They got not much else to lose. Mine, our. Good. She didn't want to hurt her as such. That's why it was only an armor shot. Yeah, like I said, the 3D work isn't too jarring. I think because it's forcefully using it in almost aspect that it can, while still maintaining the 2D shading. Does she get to keep her pension plan? Well, no kiss for that one. There's, yeah, no time to get distracted. Can he rapid fire off his offensive measures as well? Nice of Livercore and Rodden to just hang around and let them have this little conversation heart to heart. You know, maybe we'll talk after. I guess it is a area of effect attack. The thing is it only how it's perceived, or does he have to put in the effort on each kiss? Because if it's just a, go on, get it done with, probably won't be as quite effective. Well, one or the other. It's only one way this could end. So your death will just be transient. Yeah. It happened once, even if it didn't go, best outcome. Altering timelines and paradoxes be damned. How dare she change that aspect of it as well? He's really such a smooth talker, isn't he? Yeah, got a point. Even if that the others he's sharing kisses with aren't exactly fully physical. I mean, is it cheating if you're kissing paper? Huh. Why did I never think of that option? I mean, it's the very crux of this entire show. He'll create a harem based around his own wishes and wants, without the worries and issues of the world. Oh god, he's got a taste for time travel. as not quite effective in a full suit of armor. Oh, the swap out. The fact she immediately just, disregarded everything to get that one back. The one that retained a little bit of self. It's kind of like... a message from yourself. Don't hide it all. Wait. Why? I mean, I get it because death scene, therefore particles. But other aspects of when Kurumi is killed, by, say, by Mana or by Ellen or by anyone, they don't poof out of existence. They just stay there as a, head. And just like her friend, this one was a hit straight into her resolution and her feels. As it should have been from the start. Admitting defeat? Well, let's get this battle over with then. With that promise on the horizon. It's still a battlefield, remember? Don't get distracted. What did I just say? I've seen this movie. Oh, what a fucking way of appearing. You're gonna crawl out of your sternum. Say hi, I've always wanted to talk. If there was ever a Ring crossed with Alien movie, got some good inspiration right there. I do think that much like every anime ever has kind of done it. Moments where there's a little bit of exposition needed, a little bit of conversation between characters to breach some emotions or press on a point. Everyone else just has to kind of stand back and let them. Don't worry, I'll attack once you've had your little conversation. When it deems useful to jump in. But yeah, having the juxtaposition of this right here, she's seeing how vulnerable she is and thinking of the past and whatever, maybe it's whoever thinking of the one that she might have lost before, etc. And then compare it to what we just saw of her crawling out of the chest cavity of the one true Kurumi. Kind of hard to really get on board with whatever trauma and issues she's going through if that's the method of approach she goes to see him. My thoughts on Date A Live really sway quite heavily on how I think the show as a whole is being handled. Obviously some episodes I disregard from that because they were so out there, and other people have told me, yeah, just don't think about that episode. It's really not necessary. So, okay, I'll give you that one. And overall, it can be a little, not the right word, but I guess cheap in how it goes about some of the reveals and jokes. Other times it tries to lay it on and be meaningful and heavy, and sometimes it hits. But never really straying away from the core of it. Shido as a character is kind of dragged along for the ride, but has never actually swayed too far from how he handles things. And I think this episode is a kind of big punctuation mark on that, considering handling all of the Nibiru cores by making their hearts aflutter, and then also in the midst of battle called out Kurumi, getting her to change her outlook and mind on the situation and how things have to go down, even if some of it is idealised. And of course there are some spirits that really have just fallen by the wayside, not getting as much screen time as I would hope for them, but as much as some others get there. Surprisingly, Toka being one of them, but the one that really stands out is Yoshino. Sure, we saw her fly around for a bit, talk to the AST guys, and freeze some baddies, but that was it. That's all she's done in, how many episodes? But yeah, Stay Alive, a show that doesn't... Well, it wears its concept on its sleeve, and doesn't disappoint from that. And a show which... I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it. And I do want to delve more into Elliot, that backstory, why he kind of just appeared in this fancy armour. Looking a little different from how we know him. And presumably, probably not going to make it back, considering how... Was it Karen? Was saying, oh, we can just run away. We can try and start a new life, be happy, away from all of this. But it's a joke, by the way. But really, I want 3 kids. But it's a joke, by the way. And how long is it going to be before Isaac himself takes to the battlefield, considering so many of his daughters just kind of fell into the arms of Shido just now? He's not going to be too impressed over that. Well, if you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing. Join to my Discord. Be very fearful of all lights in the sky. Try not to get any paper cuts. And I'll see you in the next one. I need to thank each and every one of my patrons for being the affection that makes me weak in the knees. Metaphorically speaking, of course, because I just sit down and watch anime all day. And if you would also like to help the channel grow and sustain itself, consider joining onto my Patreon as well, and you can be alongside the likes of Sal, AegisTR, Darky26, Guado, Kite, Reds Racer, Ultra Pouring, Wolfie Sensei, Zug, and everyone else, safe in the knowledge that we can continue watching anime and enjoying ourselves without any time-travelling tomfoolery.